young girl, scarcely 15. Thanks to my parents, lots of places I've seen, but never a place that I love as well as my Virgil home 'neath the maiden hill. My Virgil home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my Virgil home 'neath the maiden hill. The harbor's so pretty in the morning sunshine, as the seabirds and robins their sweet notes entwine. The fishing boats shine in the water so still, here in my home 'neath the maiden hill. When I had trouble or if I was sad, I always found comfort from good friends I had. They knew that I loved them and I always will. And my Virgil home 'neath the maiden hill. My Virgil home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my Virgil home 'neath the maiden hill. With our fishery failing, I may have to roam. Dear God, how I'd hate to leave my dear home, but each night in memory, sure I'll see it still. My Virgil home 'neath the maiden hill. My Virgil home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my Virgil home 'neath the maiden hill.
Good evening. Welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight's stories include how many dogs do you have here at the SPCA shelter right now? These stories and more coming up after this. Please stay tuned.
Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And up.
At Participaction, we know there are thousands of ways to enjoy physical activity. For these dancers, the fun of active living builds strong friendships.
There's nothing that feels nicer than using your body. For us, dance is the way we've chosen to express our physicality.
It's fun to come to the studio and I get to see my friends and to work on the piece. You can work your tail off and it's fun. It doesn't mean it's easy.
Challenging or easy, Participaction knows that any regular physical activity contributes to overall health, and it's never too late to start.
And you're willing to work with where you are and what you've got. Then you start to make those little gains and it becomes exciting.
A lot of people can still dance the same way they could when they were kids.
Participaction, the movement for active, healthy living.
Many residents of Burgeo make frequent trips to the Beaver Pond water hole to get their drinking water. This water was tested earlier this summer by the Department of Health to see if it passed their requirements for safe drinking water.
Hey, a lot of girls get paid big money for hand jobs too. What's your point?
Well, Sam, when you take it out, you walk up, then you take another one for back. You want to see like there's a line up there. Oh, do you? Yeah. Go back, put it again.
The Burgeo Community Advisory Committee had a water analysis done on the spring water here at Beaver Pond earlier this summer. The analysis showed that this water satisfied all the requirements of the Department of Health for safe drinking water. Although the Department of Health has given the water a clean bill of health, the area surrounding the water hole doesn't look too appealing. People insist on littering in this area when they come to fill up their water containers, giving the area a very untidy appearance. We'd like to remind viewers that if you are using the water hole, please do not litter in the area, or if you see something thrown around, please pick it up, bring it home, and put it in the garbage. The Department of Highways were in town this past week, adding a little color to the town's main roadway. Hares Hill Road has been a one-way road for some time now. However, this past week the road experienced two-way traffic for a couple of days. Last spring, West Viking College offered a quilting course here in Burgeo. Because of the overwhelming response to this course, West Viking College will be offering an advanced quilting course this fall if enough interest is shown. Students were not required to have their quilts finished in order to complete the course.
Since we only had 10 nights and 3 hours a night, there's no way you could get all the hand quilting completed. But they do know the basics of quilting so that they can finish the job on their own. So, well, their pillows, they're all completed. That was the first part of the course. We started out just with the basics, and then we worked into the quilt. We've got 16 quilts. Actually, they're not all there. One of the women got hers in the way now.
Stay tuned for more of This Week in Review coming up after this.
Ducks Unlimited Canada.
I'm sure most of you have seen the notice on Community Channel 10 about some of the dogs at the SPCA shelter in Stephenville that need good homes. We visited the animal shelter on Thursday to find out more about its operation and some of the animals that they need good homes for. Speaking with me today in the SPCA in Stephenville is Marie Barter. Marie, what's your position here at the SPCA?
I'm the manager.
Okay, how many dogs do you have here at the SPCA shelter right now?
Right now we have 32 dogs and about 27 cats.
So all of these animals that you have here need homes?
Yes, they all do, every one of them.
Okay, what sort of animals do you have here?
We have pretty well every kind you can find, except there's no full breed animals. We have animals that are part husky, part shepherd. We have some terriers. We have some dogs that are just ordinary big dog. Some of them are, we have a few that are spayed. And we have this fellow, as you can see.
Okay, what hours is the SPCA open here in Stephenville?
We're open every day, Monday to Friday, from 8 in the morning until 9 at night. And on Saturday and Sunday, we're open until 4.
Okay, so what costs are incurred if someone comes here to pick up a dog or cat?
Okay, normally we charge a $50 fee. Every dog that's in here had its first needle and is dewormed. So our fee is $50. This goes towards the needle and as the upkeep of the shelter. On occasion, we will let an animal go if it's just going to get a good home, just for the fact that it's getting a good home, no charge, depending on where it's going and how old the animal is.
Okay, so how long would you keep a dog or cat here once it's brought here?
Right now we have 1 2 years, so that's the longest one. But we just keep them until we adopt them. Our biggest problem is to keep the shelter going with funds. Everything is done through charity organizations. Having people here working is a big problem. We have a walkathon going on right now, and you probably find it out in your area. It's called Sleep Your Cat, Walk Your Dog, and Walk Yourself. And we're hoping to raise some funds with it. It's pretty well all over the West Coast.
Okay, so how exactly does that work if there's anyone in Burgeo that would like to get involved in it?
Well, we're sending out sheets to the schools, pretty well to all the schools. And if you have a cat, for instance, you don't have to take your cat out and walk it. You can just leave it as it is and just consider it as a sleepathon. Or you can just take your own dog and walk it wherever you want and get sponsors for you. And just basically collect whatever money you can for us.
Okay, so where do most of the animals that you have here come from?
Most of them are strays, animals that have been abused. People don't want and just drop them off. We have a lot of animals that came from owners who moved, whether they had an apartment or what, and they couldn't keep them. And sometimes we normally don't take everybody's animals, but they say they're strays, so then you're sort of left with the animal.
Okay, is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, just basically we need a lot. Like right now we're looking for homes we've got about 10 big dogs that with the cold weather coming, we're practically into a point of saying, well, we've got a no-kill shelter, but what are we going to do with those big dogs with the winter? And if we don't find homes for them, we may have no choice but put them down, which would change our policy right off the bat.
Okay, so is there a number that people can call if they'd like to inquire about specific animals?
Yes, we're located on 15 Utah Drive. That's just across from the Newfoundland Light and Power. And our phone number is 643-2811.
Okay, so if anyone was interested in getting a dog, they could call in and you tell them what types of dogs and stuff you have here.
Right. They can either just drop in or give us a phone call.
Okay, well, we'd like to thank you for speaking with us today and showing us around the SPCA here in Stephenville.
Okay, thank you for coming out. I'm hoping this is going to help us adopt some.
In addition to good homes for these animals, the SPCA also needs old towels to clean them, old blankets for them to sleep on, as well as any collars, leashes, pet toys, etc. that you have no further need for. If you have any of these items that you'd like to donate to the SPCA, please drop them off at the BBS office and we'll make sure they receive it. Well, that concludes tonight's program. Remember, if you know of a story idea, big or small, please call our office and let us know about it. Remember, we can't cover it if we don't know about it. For This Week in Review, I'm Dave Cooper. Good night.